We are in Piazza San Gaetano, outside San Lorenzo Maggiore church, where around here, in the late Greek time, there was the Agora, or the market. Behind the church, there was the old platea, the streets in the Greek time, that because there was a different level of land between this part of the city with the upper level, the square was divided in two sections, one used for the political life and one used for the market. In the Roman time, the square of the Greek layer was changed in the Forum, where there was also the temple of Dioscuri instead of the church of San Paolo Maggiore, and where we are going now, we can discover the ancient marketplace, Macellum. Let's come with me. We are in the 17th century entrance of the cloister of the church San Lorenzo Maggiore. The cloister is one of the most beautiful corners of peace in the city of Naples, right in the middle of the center. Why we are here? Because this is the entrance to this incredible journey to the past. In the 70s, my professor, De Simone, which is one of the most incredible archaeologists that I met in my life, did the excavations of this incredible archaeological site. But first of all, let me tell you something about this incredible architecture. The 17th century cloister is connected with the Gothic church of San Lorenzo Maggiore. The church was built under the Anjou time, the French family who ruled Naples from the late 13th century till the 15th century. The church was famous with a convent because the Franciscans, the friars of San Francesco, St. Francis Law, they had as a guest in the 14th century the famous poet Petrarca, that during the famous storm of Naples of the 14th century, he was praying with the friars in the rooms of this convent. But also another important literature man, Boccaccio, that he used to meet Maria d'Aquino, the daughter of the king Robert de Anjou, and he called her with the nickname Fiammetta. Then the church, like the convent, had different restorations during the centuries to get now this Baroque site and clothes. But in the center of the cloister, we can see always a well, the well that was connected with a reservoir or with a cistern of water, and right there in the middle we can see the remains of the famous Macellum. Well, the place that we can see right in this hall, called the Tholos, which is a round structure, was connected in the Roman time with a rectangular courtyard with the shops on around, and then there was this small round place where people could sell fresh food. The pavement was all covered with mosaics or different type of marble. Literally from this cloister we can go back of the late Greek time. So be ready with this travel, like a time machine. On the eastern side of the cloister, we can see, passing through the 14th century gate, the Sala of Capitolo, the chapter hall. That was used by the friars to decide the life and laws of the convent. The beautiful paintings that we can see made by Rodriguez are telling about the law of St. Francis who gave to friars and nuns. Along my tour in the historical center of Naples, a must is this place. Literally now we are going to cut like a knife or like an elevator from our modern life back to the Greek time, passing through the Middle Age and the Roman layers. We are going 10 meters about underneath our feet. It's a time machine. There are no other places in the world like this entrance. Many part of Naples in the 5th century, they were all covered with a lot of mudslide and landslides. We are literally on top that layer of material that preserved perfectly everything built before that time, before the 5th century. So that's all the alluvionale, that's all the mud that covered basically the world underneath. Underneath the arches, that's all Greek time. The small taverne, the small shops that they were flanking the main square, the marketplace of Naples, are still preserved there. This layer, we are at the 6th century AD, in the early Middle Age, where part of the columns on a side are part of the Palace of Justice in the Duke time of Naples, Epoca Ducale. But where we have to go now is a jump back to the Roman and the Greek time now. Literally, we are walking through the history. And you are welcome to another time. That's like an history book. We are underneath the transept of the church upstairs, the Gothic church of San Lorenzo. So that's why we don't see the sky, because everything was built like a Lego, layers on top of other layers. Underneath there is still part of the Stenopos, the vertical street of the Greek time. And then in the 1st century AD, the first time of the Roman Empire, the other road. And then this other one on top, built in the 5th century. We can see along myself a lot of walls built in the 1st century, that they were part of the famous tavern, the shop that I told you before. That's all laterizi. One interesting thing, we can understand if a city was in a good economy time, understanding the layers of bricks. Actually, it's more expensive to make a brick than the Roman Malta. So when we see layers upon layers of many bricks comparing a big side of Malta, means that the structure was richer, stronger, and the city was flourishing, comparing, for example, the other type of construction. That was another time. We can go inside of some of the shops around here. One of them was not really a shop, but was one of the most important place in every squares, in every forum, the erario, where the treasure of the city was stored. All the different rooms along this road, they had 2 rooms with bolted ceilings. Have a look with me inside. The structure, it's made with the so-called opus reticulatum, in this case made with a tufa stone, the so-called honeycomb design and shape. This is the first room, that's the second. We can still see they are still completely intact. When you have an arch or bolted ceilings, the weight of the upper floors can be distributed better on a side. And the upper floor, there were other rooms. Basically, many forum in the Roman time, they had 2 floors on a side of a rectangular square. In the erario, and we are going to see now the bakery of the ancient Roman Naples, we can see to the underground there big blocks of tufo coming from the caves of Poggioreale, the same type of big blocks used to build the walls of Naples that we saw in Piazza Bellini Square. Another common shop that we could find was the fullonica, a kind of laundry of the modern time. The fullonica was used to wash clothes and remove the stains from them. We can still see part of the ancient marbles on the floor, and the small pool used to wash different clothes with the system of pipes that all the waste could be sent outside.